Since the last 10 years I'm starting to take it a little bit more serious. And one of the first one is this from 2009. I made this I wish, I am, and I will be. This is, of course, I wish is a picture of my face and the body of somebody I would love to have, the body. And we took out all the wrinkles to make me look as I really would like to look, you know. Many people think nowadays this is how I look, and I hope you remember it as well. But this is, at that moment, 2009, I was looking like that. And this is, I think, my future, because maybe as you can hear by my breathing, I'm suffering from, in Dutch they call it COPD. You know that? It's lung emphysema, which means your lungs are getting bigger, but the cotton content is getting smaller. And well, it's progressive, so in the end, you don't have any energy anymore and you don't have any oxygen anymore. But after taking this picture, I would love to have that quality of hair in 10 years' time. After taking this picture, for me, it turned out to be therapy. I accepted my future much more as I accepted before I took the picture. The pictures over there, it is my reaction on as a photographer, as an artist, on the assassination, on the Charlie Hebdo, blah, blah, blah. Because slowly, the last 10, 15 years, I started to think and rethink all the time, if I can make a picture without hurting anybody, if I can make some art and still be political correct. And before that time, when I started out, I just made what I thought I had to make. You make what you have to make, what you feel from your toes as an artist. And nowadays, I have to consider for my safety, for the political correct public opinion, and things like that, which I don't want to do. I just want to create what I need to create. The older I get, the more interesting I think it is that when you view my work, that you start to fill in your own story without me telling you what to think or what to do when you see my works, you know? Yeah, waiting is a kind of emotion between being dead and alive. Because when you are waiting without being observed, there's something strange happening to you. And for me, when I start to think about it, it's quite an important emotion. It's kind of meditation as well. And it can be also incredible, terrible. Imagine when you are waiting for the doctor to tell you you have cancer or not. The 30 minutes before. And of course I made a series called Rain, Hope and Grief. And Grief I made in 2007. And it is about the first tear, the very first tear. Time-wise, I wanted to keep it very vague, very vague, that you don't know which time we are looking at. But just before the mobile telephone arrived in our lives, so I think about 2000 or 95, something like that. And then I imagined, and I made one film. I made 3 films, but one is now on display of all the 3 women, of one run, so no montage, no cutting.
of women, the three women waiting for their date, for a man they spoke to, maybe on the internet, maybe not, and had a fantastic time, and then finally after 3-4 months they decide we're going to meet, and then you're there in the restaurant or in the lobby or in the coffee shop, and the date doesn't show up. What happens with you physically? What happens with, and I think in the film of the Asian girl, when we were making it, you have to imagine it's all 100% fake. There's nothing real. It's like a film studio. And we were not allowed, my cameraman, to say stop. I made that promise to myself. I film as long as is needed for this woman to realize that the guy never will show up. And if you take the time to look the whole film, or at least the last few minutes and the beginning of the first few minutes, then you will see what happens to a face and to a body when you have to wait and get very disappointed. Because all the muscles in the face are completely different than in the beginning. So that was for me a very big surprise. And when we were filming, me as a director, and I made this, it's my fantasy, so it's my idea. I was looking at the screens and really felt very, very sorry for her. But she wasn't waiting for a date. She was just doing what was told by me. But that is what I think the power of photography, and maybe even more of film, is that you can create a suggestion, a truth that's completely untruth. But if it's done very well, it creates emotion by the people that are viewing it. So this black box, it's not a box, the dark gray triangle, for me it symbolizes the point of when you feel lonely or when you feel unhappy. It can be a dagger or a knife in your stomach. It can feel so painful, and I wanted to symbolize it by the dark gray triangle, and by the two screens without the montage. You have to make the montage yourself. So when you're inside the installation, your eyes are choosing once in a while which screen you're watching, which I think is very interesting, because then you can create and become more part, of my installation. So, the last thing I want to say about it is that why I choose for black and white, and this has to do for me with going back to, let's say, the slow photography. Although these are not printed by hand by me, the big ones, because I'm unable to do that in my darkroom. The smaller ones are all hand printed. So I feel the need more and more now. I get older, just to go back into the darkroom, and not only for the technique, but also to get more into the reason why are you making something, because sometimes you go so quick that you forget why you are making it, or me. So now that's it. I think that sound, not only music, but sound is really so important by creating an atmosphere in your mind and creating a story. So it manipulates you into the atmosphere I want to create.